Hello, my name is Josh Ramsey, and I passed the NPTE in July with the help of StudyBuddy. Through using StudyBuddy, I was able to really progress my depth of understanding of how the test itself was being laid out and how questions would be asked. And there were a couple things along the way that I would really get bogged down by, but StudyBuddy and the team there gives you the support and really helps you kind of work your way through. And as long as you have faith in their process and kind of trust the schedule that they lay out for you, you will see success. But three specific things I wanted to touch on today talking about StudyBuddy was the first being GI and GU, specifically for the NPTE exam. There's a 10-minute kind of tip and trick that I picked up probably after my first attempt, when I found that GI and GU was a really low score for me when I tested in April. And the 10-minute trick I kind of used was I took a whiteboard or a big sheet of paper and I broke it up into the quadrants and just started filing out right upper quarter, left upper quarter, right lower quarter, left upper quarter, or left lower quarter, and went through all cholecystitis where every GI symptom and diagnosis would go through. That way I can visualize in front of me, okay, if I see a kind of shiny stool or something else, what does that fall into? Because you know for GI and GU you have nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea generally for most of your cases or most of your diagnoses, but being able to distinct, and on the test I'll ask, oh, there's pain in this quadrant, what could that be? Really being able to hone in on, okay, it's right upper quadrant, I know these things come into the right upper quadrant and that they are exhibiting these symptoms. I think that for me was one thing that really helped, especially with GI and GU. Another trick, kind of things that me and some of my peers, I experienced that when you kind of get unmotivated or you get bad results, like, you have to realize two things. First off, the first trick I put in my mind is not all progress is linear. You're not always going to just climb that ladder all the way up the entire time you're studying for the exam. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. So being able to manage and kind of balance that was a big thing for me. That balance comes from my motivation. For me, my motivation was being able that I've put in this work already. I've put in 7 years of education, of postgraduate, of everything else to get to this point, and using that as you're right at the finish line. It's just a little bit more to cross, and how much are you willing to put forth for your future? So using that as a motivation, the career, that getting to the point where I can live the life that I want. I can help as many people as I can. I can see patients. I can impact lives. That was a big motivator for me. And especially I had a job lined up after. So that was another thing where it's, okay, other people are counting on me. Use kind of as much as you can around you to not necessarily put pressure on yourself, but to put a level of expectation for yourself, that when you don't hit that level of expectation, you're falling short, and you realize, okay, I have other people who are relying, who are depending, who are waiting on me and my skills and my experience to help them in their lives. That was one skill and trick that I really used to stay motivated. And then the last thing that I really wanted to touch on in this short segment, this short video for StudyBuddy is take your time when you're studying. I know it can feel like that's the only thing going on, and that is your one thing you're focusing on, which is good. At the same time, you need to have a grasp outside of that. You need to be able to, okay, I studied for 4 hours today. Let me take a break. Let me step away. Let me go to the gym. Let me go on a run. For me, it was, I play hockey, so taking my time even when I'm studying, even when I know, okay, I have a class here at 9 p.m., I have a game at 8:15 or 8:45. I went to my games early and just sat in my car ahead of time and just sat in class still studying, but I made sure to separate time for the things that I know I enjoy and that bring me other purpose in life beyond studying for the exam. Taking time to get outside, just sit in the sun, go on a walk. On days when you feel like you are drained and really don't want to study, have ice cream. Have something that makes you feel good, and then use that also and couple it in with, okay, I had a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute break from studying. I grabbed ice cream. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. Let's get back into studying. Let's do some more questions. And one thing that isn't necessarily a prompt, but that really helped me go from just starting out in studying and feeling like I was a beginner after I had my first failed attempt in April was to just do questions. More than just inside StudyBuddy. There's a lot of other outside resources that you can use. One I really also found pretty helpful was on YouTube or on the internet, just looking up podcasts for other questions and seeing not only how my mentor with StudyBuddy and how they approach questions, but seeing how somebody else outside would approach questions. PT Final Exam, not to promote another platform, but I felt did a good job of breaking down questions, especially in their podcast format, and giving you an opportunity, but also having the pacing to where it was a quick time. It was maybe 3-minute videos, but your explanation would be within that kind of 5 minutes after, or like 2 minutes after, and they'd go down one by one, understanding not only why this answer was correct, but if C is correct, why is A, B, and D false? Here's your reasoning. Kind of understand questions from that way. Read the question once first, just to see everything. Maybe start thinking about your answer, and then go back through your answers. See, okay, from what I initially understand, does anything fit that criteria? And then also, reread it again. Take your time. If you're in the exam and you feel like, whoa, I'm getting stressed out, I'm getting bogged down, do a small little reset. Look away from the screen. Do a little bit of shoulder rolls. Fix your posture. Things that make you feel confident. Confidence is a big thing for this test. Not only just, okay, I think I know every answer, but am I feeling good when I'm taking a test? Am I feeling ready to approach this exam? To me, StudyBuddy was a good part of that. It provided me the confidence that I knew countless of the material, of the knowledge, and the amount that you learn through that process and through their site, through their classes, through their mentorship was a big, big help for me. And having somebody else in your corner, like the mentor, that will be straightforward with you when you're not up to that expectation, like I talked about earlier. You're falling short. Come on, let's get back up to it. They held you accountable, and that accountability is a big thing going into that exam.